Hello, my name is Keshwani. There's K-E-S-H-W-A-N-I, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for SAT. We have been solving SAT math problems out of this book here, the official SAT study guide. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 830. It's the beginning of exam number 8. There are 10 exams in this book. We have already finished 7 exams. We have 3 more to go, and today is our first day of exam number 8. Page number 830, please turn to it. And today is our lesson number 106. This particular section, if you look at the very top of the page there, it will tell you that there are 18 questions. As soon as you see that there are 18 questions in the sections, that should give away that it is made up of 2 types of questions. As I always remind you whenever we get to this section, it has 18 questions. The first 8, 1 through 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 1 through 8 are multiple choice questions, and then 9 through 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18, and these are graded questions. The reason I always make a big fuss about it is because I want you to understand that just because it says 18 questions on the top of the section, you cannot automatically assume that the first 6 are easy, the next 6 are medium, and the last 6 are difficult. As I always tell you, they are arranged in the order of difficulty, in easy, medium and hard. But we cannot automatically assume it unless we know for a fact that all the questions are of the same type, which is not the case here. There are 2 types of questions in this sections, and they start out with multiple choice questions. There are 8 of them, and they go from 1 through 8 in the scale of difficulty. And then starting with number 9, they give you the gradient questions. In other words, 6, 7 and 8 are hard questions, and so are 16, 17 and 18. Especially the 17 and 18, they are pure hell. 17 and 18, the gradient questions, are the most difficult questions in the entire exam, in the entire math portion of the exam. Anyway, enough said, let's begin. So on a scale of 1 to 8, this problem is number 1. It says, which of the following numbers is between 1/5 and 1/4? 1/5 and 1/4. As you can see, for crying out loud, this is too simple. 1/5 is 0.2 obviously, and 1/4 is 0.25. So we just have to find one number that falls between it, and the only one that falls between it obviously is D, which is 0.21. That's it, 0.21, which is answer choice D. Number 2. Number 2. The following are the coordinates of the points in the xy plane. Which of these points is the nearest to the origin? So we're gonna plot them out and see what happens. So here is our xy coordinate. A is 0 and -1. So here is -1 and 0. That's our A. And we're looking for the one that is nearest. B goes on to say 0 and half. So here is 1 and here is half. There is your B. And obviously B is closer than A, so A is already out of the game. A is not a contender. He could have been, but he's not. Half and -half. Half and -half right here. Now don't ask me what movie is this from. I have no idea. I don't remember what movie it is, but it's a classic line from one of the classic movie. I could have been somebody. I could have been a contender. I don't even know who the actor was. Anyway, half and -1/2. Half and -1/2 is here. This from here to here is half, and from here to here is half, which means it forms. This is the hypotenuse. If you draw a triangle ABC here, well, don't worry about. Let's call them X, Y, Z, so that we don't get confused with the other A and B. It forms a right angle triangle. This is half and this is half, and therefore this hypotenuse is always the longest side in the triangle. Therefore this distance from origin to this point C, is going to be more than half, which means C is out of the game, because so far B is the winner. Let's look at D. D is half and half. The same thing. Half and half is going to be up here. Half and half. There is your point D, and again the same thing. If you want to find the distance from origin to D, we have a triangle here. Right here is half, and right here is half. So we have isosceles triangle here. half and half, and this hypotenuse of course is going to be more than half. We don't know what it is, but whatever the hell it is more than half, because hypotenuse is the longest side. Right here is the right angle. So D is out of the game. So far B is the winner. And E says -1 and 1. I'm not going to even bother plotting with it. -1 and 1 is going to be even farther apart. The answer is B. B as in boy. Number 3. Number 3. 831. As I always tell you, it's always a good idea not to make too much fuss about problems that are too simple, because otherwise it gets to be too annoying. Number 3. It says if AB is a line, what's the value of y? Alright, so let's draw our AB. If AB is a line, oh big freaking deal, I can see it. AB is a line, what's the value of y? So we have to plot it properly here. Here's the underline that's going. Here's the underline that's going. And then they got 2 more in here. And so x, 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 and x. Well, there you go. That's our first starting point. This is a straight line here. This line that I'm pointing here. This is a straight line here. And of course we know that a straight line makes 180 degrees, because a straight line is a semicircle, and it is made up of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 axes. So 5 axes equal 180. Therefore x equals 180 over 5. Let's see what 180 over 5 is. 180 divided by 5. How many 5s in a 0? 0 has no 5. That 1 goes and joins the 8, becomes 18. How many 5s in a 18? 18 has 3 5s. 3 5s are 15. The remaining 3 goes and joins the 0, becomes 30. How many 5s in a 30? 30 has 6 5s. So it's 36. That's one way we could have figured it out, that 180 divided by 5 is 36. Another way is that we know that 180 divided by 10 is 18. Therefore 180 divided by 5, 180 divided by 5 is going to be twice as much. 18 times 2 is 36. So that's your x. Is that what they're asking for? What's the value of x plus what's the value of y? So then why the hell do you figure out the value of x? Oh, because this is our y here. Okay, watch what here. This is our y, and again this is x and this is x. So now we look at this part here. This straight line right here. This straight line is made up of y, this y right here, plus x equals 180. And we already know that x is 36 right here. X equals 36. So we put it in here. So y equals 180 minus 2 times 36, which is 72. 180 minus 2 times 36. And how do we know that 2 times 36 is 72? Because we know that 2 times 35 is 70. So 2 times 36 got to be 2 more. 180 minus 72, 180 minus 80 would have been 100, so it's 108. It's 108. And that's what they're looking for. They're looking for value of y. Answer is 108, and that should be answer choice A. Number 4. Number 4. We are told that 6,565 equals 65 times x plus 1. And the question is, what's the value of x? So we have to solve for x. We have to solve this equation for x, which is precisely what we're going to do here. So let's do it then. Open the parentheses. When we open the parentheses, we get 65 times x, and then 65 times 1 is 65. And that equals 65 times 65, 6,565. Subtract 65 from both sides, and we end up with 65x equals 65 minus 65 is 6500. Divide both sides by 65. This 65 drops out, and we find that x equals 6500. 6500 divided by 65 is just 100. Voila. Which makes perfect sense, because when you put it back in there, 100 plus a 1 is 101, and 101 times 65 should be 6565, because 100 times 65 is 6500 plus another 65. Number 5. number 5 deals with the concept of exponents. In every exam they give you 1 or 2 questions dealing with the concept of exponents. They want to make sure that you understand these concepts. Here's what's going on. They tell us that m raised to x times m raised to 7 equals m raised to 28. Since they have the same basis, m and m, this can be written as m raised to x plus 7, which we are told the same as m raised to 28. Again, now since they have the same basis, m and m, which means the exponents must be equal to each other. Which means that exponents must be equal to each other. That tells us that x plus 7 equals 28. Subtract 7 from both sides when we find that x equals 21. That's half the battle. We're not quite done yet. Lucky for us, 21 is not one of the answer choices, because otherwise some people in their rush, in their haste, might forget that they're looking for the value of x plus y, not x. And they might end up picking 21. But lucky for us, 21 is not one of the answer choices. Now let's solve for y. Y has got to be, well, let's find out what y is. I need the room, so I'm going to erase all of this thing. It's sort of squeezing everything in it. I'm going to simply erase everything. Now we are told that m raised to 5 raised to y equals 15. Well, this is too simple. M raised to 5 raised to y is same as m raised to 5 times y, which we know is m raised to 15. Again, they have the same basis, which means 5y equals 15, which in turn implies that y equals 3. Y equals 3 and x equals, we just found out a little while ago, x equals 21, and therefore x plus y is 24, which is answer choice D. Let's go on then, number 6. We are on number 6 now. That's it, we are done with this one. Question number 6. In question number 6, we have a chart that is given to us, a graph that is given to us. Make sure that you have, looking at the book, you have to have the book in front of you, as I always remind you. Do not do these exercises with me in a passive manner. You must be actively involved in it. Open the book, have the book in front of you, and solve the problem along with me. Don't just sit there and watch. You cannot learn rather. You cannot learn how to solve math problem just by watching somebody else do it. Do you understand? I do not know why I have this urge in every single video to break into a sermon, but I do. That's what I do. That's my forte. We'll learn this word in a second, forte. So what are we looking for here? According to graph above, which of the following is the closest to the decrease per year in the number of homes sold from 1987 to 1990? All right. So here's a 1987. Lost it. 1987, 1988, 89, and 90. First of all, very first thing we need to understand is how many periods are we dealing with. Are we dealing with 4 periods? Are we dealing with 4 years? Or are we dealing with 3 years? When I say 3 years, I'm talking about how many periods. We are in fact dealing with 3 periods. 1987 to 88, whatever the change is, that's 1 period. That's 1 period. 88 to 89 is going to be 2nd period. And then 89 to 90 is going to be the 3rd period. Now they're looking for the average, they're looking closest to the decrease per year. They're looking for the decrease per year, which is same as saying average decrease. Now you could actually sit there and figure out the decrease for all of these 3 periods and then take their average. You could do that, but that's a very roundabout way of doing it. The direct route would be is to simply take the reading for 87. What is the reading for 87? In 87 it looks like it is about 156. And then take the reading, very last reading, which is 1990, and for 1990 it looks to me like about 114. Take their difference, 156 minus 114 is 42. So there has been a total decrease of 42 over 3 periods. over 3 periods. You see, that's why I made a big fuss about period 1, period 2, period 3. So if there is a total decrease is 42, and we have number of periods, which is 3, that's it, that's our answer, 42 divided by 3. Let's find out what 42 divided by 3 is. How many 3's in a 4? 4 has 1 3. The remaining one goes and joins the 2, becomes 12. How many 4's in a 12? 12 has 4 3's. Which is just as well because we know that 45 divided by 3 is 15. If 45 divided by 3 is 15, then 42, being 3 less than 45, better have 14 3's in it. The answer is 14. The answer is there has been a decrease of 14 units per period. Okay, don't say per year because that will confuse you, because we're looking at 4 years here, but those 4 years comprise 3 periods because of the fact that we're looking for the change from 1 year to next year. So if you have 4 years, there are 3 changes. First year to second year is 1 change, second year to third year is another change, and third year to the final year, the fourth year, is the third change. That's it. The answer is 14,000. That's answer choice C. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Bye now.